become involved in new media by making electronic music. So I mostly started doing at the age of 14 electronic music with a computer, and then from that time I studied electronic, and I switched to humanities and sociology and psychology. After I go to the university in anthropology and go after to in music electroacoustic. So with all those studies, those in humanities, helped me to understand my understanding of what I want to say, what I want to say with the art, and to help me to have a critic point of view of our society. And with the others, it's all the tool that I'm using to making my project. So with electronic and programming, I start to program and to understanding code. And with electroacoustic, I got a workflow to develop content with new media. For me, collaboration, it's really important for two aspects. The first one is for the artistic aspect, to develop the idea, develop concept, to develop approach. So it helped me to work with Johnny Ranger, Simon Laroche, and Danny Perrault for all those aspects. And the other one, it's more technical. So with by using new technologies, we work a lot with new technologies. So we use technology that we are not expert of those technologies. So it's really important to be sure of what we are doing and what we are and what are the possibilities with those technologies. So we work with specialists. It's something that it's allowed by technologies to change the content directly with the interaction of the person. And what is I found more and more interesting is that being engaged in that way, the people are in a relation of not contemplation, are in a relation of they discover something. They are instead of being passive and just look what is there, they could explore the device and explore different way to work and to see the content. So it's why I like it more and more. What inspired me, there's two starting points. The first one was a photo of Dispergere Maïs. It's an audiovisual installation I did a few years ago, and in this picture you can see the light floating in the air with the line of the outline of the screen. So I want to do it, but with something different, in another way. So I use plastic wrap to having the illusion of the air floating. And the second aspect is the idea that double. It's the idea of duplication. In the social media, the content exists with the duplication of it. If it stays in one page, it will stop there. So it's the logic of by duplicating something, you bring it alive. So that was the main starting point. Yeah, so Triple, it's the continuity of this project. I was not able to have to connect the piece with Double. I was not able to connect the piece with internet, but with Triple, I want to connect the work with internet. The difference between double and triple for the device, the plastic wrap and the wire installation, will not change, not as far I know. But for the content, it will change a lot. Instead of control a static form, a series of different forms with a mouse, they will generate the content of the form that will be presented in the installation. Yes, for example, the word could change the color. Let's say if we have more L, it will be more yellow. Or if we say yes or like, or if you have more like, for example, it could have a bigger form. If you have share, it could change the perspective of the form. It's because when I work with a video projector, there's some constraint in power, and there's some constraint also related to the material that I'm using. So in exhibition environment, I try to control as much as I can the environment. So the black wall is one of the main factors to having the more efficient. So when I did, for example, immersion in the white environment, it was totally different as it was in a totally black environment. And the comment for the public is different also. People don't have the same experience. With double, what is important for the relation of the sound and the visual, it's to make the form more physical. I mean, to make it more tangible, or to make it more massive. Because when people see something moving, like those three-dimensional forms, and having a sound turning or having the same movement, they will have the illusion that it's more real. Yeah, I would say for some of them it looks like the green one, it looks like muffled, because I want it muffled and like it's there but not in front of you. It's technique that we use for audio mixing, for having sound more front of those of other sound. And it's this technique that is used also in sound design for having something in the background and something in the front ground. So I work with those physical aspects of the sound also to bring more physically in the space. I started more with figurative visual, but always transform. And the first idea why I want to use it transform, it's because I want to let people to have their own interpretation on the content. So by having something not really clear, it's more you could have more interpretations. I want to do this because when you do illusion, you work with illusion in 3D. It works better with 90 degrees angle, so it's easier for me to work with spatial aspect of the visual when it's more square. Yeah, the similarity between Blur, Installation Carmin, this one here, and Triple, it's first the device, it's research about reflection and refraction of multiple translucent screens. So with this piece, it's a lot of plexiglass. So with all those plexiglass, I want to use the reflection potential and refraction to build something new, to work this as a basic matter. So for both pieces I have this, and as a content also both are generated with the 3D software. So, and all the form always turning, moving. So the idea of having form always moving, I'm really interested about this idea.